Hi, today I am having some ladies over for a little get-together here in my home, so I decided I'm going to make some scones. I'm going to make cinnamon chip scones and chocolate chip scones. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the cinnamon chip scones. First of all, what you do is, in a large bowl, you put your dry ingredients. Your dry ingredients will be 2 cups of flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, no, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of sugar. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put my flour in. Ooh, like a mess. Alright, flour, my baking powder is 4 teaspoons. Seems like a lot to me, but so actually this is not a recipe I've ever tried before. I've made scones before, but I don't know what happened to the recipe, so I just got a new one. Alright, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So 1/4 of salt. And 1/3 cup of sugar. And what you're going to do now is you're going to mix this up a little bit. And I'm using, I think it's called a pastry blender. I can't remember what this little tool's called. But every other one I've ever gotten has broken. Hopefully this one won't. If it does, there's one more that I want to try. But anyway, then the next thing you do, in a separate bowl, which I'm going to use my little cup, you combine your cream, which is 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, and 1 egg. And you get that beaten together really well. The next thing after you have that beaten, you actually I skipped a step. You don't beat that yet. You have to put your butter in your shortening into this first. And I left my butter in the refrigerator so it could be as cold as possible. I have done this and had my butter frozen and then just shredded it up, and it made it a lot easier, and it also kept it cold, but it's cold enough. So I need 4 tablespoons of butter. That's about 1, which I think is about 1/2 of a stick. And I'm going to cut it down a little bit smaller. Let's scoop this over so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, put your butter in. 4 tablespoons of butter. And 2 tablespoons of shortening. And that's what I'm going to use my handy dandy little tool with. And you just cut it in. And you want it to look like fine sand. Just, well, maybe not fine sand, coarse sand. That's what it is, coarse sand. It doesn't need to be thoroughly mixed because that butter that's in here, once it is all mixed the way it needs to be, and you put it into the oven, it will like form little pockets and make your scones fluffy. And that's why it needs to be as cold as you can get it. Which I could have done better. I could have done it frozen, but I didn't. And it's supposed to look kind of like this, like with the little chunks in there. You want the little chunks. You could actually do this with two butter knives, and take the knives and just kind of like cross like this. That takes a lot of time. So I have this little tool, and there are a few pieces in here that are a little bit too big, so I'm doing them with my hand real quick. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take you take your cream and egg, and after you've mixed it good, you pour it in to this mixture. And you just combine it. I'm just going to combine it a little bit. I'm going to wash my hand. The next thing you're to do is to put in a handful of your chips, whatever kind of chips, or if you want to put like dried cranberries, cherries, chocolate chips, blueberries, any kind of addition that is flavoring, you put it in now. Now you don't have to even add anything to this. You can just, you know, finish mixing it and cook it like it is. But what it says to do now is to put in a handful of whatever it is that you're using. I'm using cinnamon chips. It's these Hershey's cinnamon chips. But it says a handful, but everybody's hand's a different size, so you kind of just judge it yourself. You don't want too many in there because you don't want it to be turned into complete cinnamon, but you want enough in there that it's gonna be in every single scone, and you're gonna be able to taste it. And now I'm gonna just use my hands to get it, but you don't want to use your hands too much because you don't want too much heat. You just kind of get it all together. Alright, the next step after washing your hand is getting your surface floured and putting it out on the floured surface, and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my scones down on this flat spot. Now, normally at this point, after you've made your scones, you would just take them and you would like, ooh, it's sliding because I'm using parchment. You would flatten them out, and you would do, well, you know what, I think I'm going to do that anyway. I was going to do the little rounds, but I think I'm just going to do what you would normally do anyway. I can change things up a little from what I had planned in the beginning. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, which you can barely see it because it's almost the same color as the stove. I'm going to cut this into, hopefully it will be 8 sort of triangles. I've never been good at geometry, really. I'm probably going to end up with more than what it's supposed to be, but that's okay. The ladies won't care if I have more. I was going to do them in like little rounds, but that's a lot more trouble, and that's fine, normally, but I'm trying to get some things done today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on a parchment lined baking sheet. After I have them on the parchment lined baking sheet, I am going to put a little bit of sugar onto them. Now this is something you do not have to do. It makes them a little prettier and it makes them taste good. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, there's 12 there and I was supposed to have 9. Whoops. That's me. Anyway, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to show you how to do the sugar. Okay. Let's see if y'all can see this. I cut them into little triangles, which you saw. And they're not perfect, but if they were perfect, they wouldn't be homemade. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of this. It's pure cane sugar. It's the crystals. It's not finely ground. It just gives them a little bit of crunch. It gives them a little sweetness on top. And it also makes them a little bit shiny. Now, some people put a little egg wash or something like that on it, and which I probably should have done that, but I did not do that. There. Now you bake them. The recipe says 375, but my oven is a little bit crazy. So I'm going to do it at 350 Fahrenheit, which is 177 Celsius and gas mark 4. And I'm going to put them in the oven for 15 minutes. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out. I'm going to go ahead and put together a batch of chocolate chip ones too, but I'm not going to show you how to do that because the only difference is you just throw chocolate chips in there. So I'll see you in a few seconds for you. Okay, this is what the scones look like. They smell really good. After they're done, and they taste really good. So I'm actually finishing up the chocolate chip ones right now. These are the cinnamon ones, and I'm gonna go get ready for my get together with the ladies. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and give me a thumbs up. The same thing, but okay. Subscribe, share, and comment below. If you have a scone recipe you'd like to share with me, please do that, because I'm always looking for different recipes. And like I said, this is one I've never used before, but I don't know what I do with my other one. So I'm going to go do something with this hair and some other things, and that's probably somebody telling me that they're, you know, on their way early. Maybe not. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.